Okay, so you've heard that most businesses trade between 3 and 7 times earnings. You understand that most businesses trade within this range. Now, it's a pretty big range, okay, because if you do $1 million in earnings, that means your business could be worth $3 million or $7 million, and that's a big gap. So why would someone look at that same earning potential and give 3 potentially different valuations? Well, let me explain a story as I told it to people last night. I was talking with them and they said, Matt, how am I going to value this business? We do $3.5 million of earnings every year. What's the value of our business? And I said, well, let's start at the high end. At the high end, your business is worth $30 million. At the low end, your business might only be worth $4 million. And they said, this is ridiculous. What are you talking about? That's a huge variance. And I said, well, there are 3 different buyers that might pay 3 very different prices. So let's start at the high end. First of all, you're growing like crazy. You've been almost growing at 70% per year. That growth is amazing. Plus, what you do is fairly niche and interesting. If you were to go to a big national or a big regional player, they might pay you as much as 10 times earnings or more for your business because of what you do. Because of the skills that you have, the people that you have, the processes that you've developed, the technology that you have, they might want that because then they could take that to their clients and they might make $300 million off of it. So that's why they would pay such a high number. And then in the middle are some people that are financial buyers. Someone who would just look at it and say, well, what kind of cash flow can I get out of that? And they might think 3 to 7 times earnings. They might pay something like $15 million for your business. And then on the low end, there were 3 partners. Well, what if you bought out one of the partners? What is one of the partners' share worth? Well, if you're one of the partners, you now are a minority partner with no control, no say, and you might not get any money out of this thing. And in fact, worse, you might get a tax bill every year out of it. In that case, I looked to one of the partners and I said, what would you buy it for? If that was going to be your position, how much money would you pay for that? And he said, I wouldn't buy that at all. Well, exactly. That's why that business valuation, when you're a minority partner with no control and no marketability, there's a significant discount to the value, the traditional value of the business. And it could be valued as low as $5 million or even less when you think about an internal transaction. So this is how you can sometimes take the same facts of the business and get 3 wildly different valuations, from $3 million all the way up to $30 million and somewhere in between. So when you're looking at your business, really target your buyer. Figure out what you want to accomplish and your goals, because the variance could be quite large in the amount of money you get when you sell your business.